Welcome back to the Mad Spideyverse. I'm Mad Spidey. Thanks once again for tuning into my channel. It is time for another one of my artist series. Now this is episode number 22. So I'm flying through these and still got a lot more to go. Today's focused artist is now don't confuse the name, he is not a famous retired basketballer, but he is Tony Parker. Now, Tony Parker has been on the scene for a little while, probably not as well known as a lot of the bigger artists, but he's an absolutely fantastic artist, super nice guy. I didn't really know about him until a few years back when a good mate of mine who's part of our art collecting crew here in Melbourne, in Australia, he actually said to me, he goes, look, I'm going to be setting up a few commissions for myself and for a couple of friends. Do you want to jump in on it? And I'm like, well, I don't really know much about him. And he's like, he showed me a couple of pictures of some of the pieces he'd done for him in the past, and I went, wow, yeah, I'm definitely jumping on board with this guy. His art is absolutely phenomenal, a lot of attention to detail. He's mainly known for doing interior arts, which is, I've had a look at some of his interior art. It's not as detailed as generally interior art is, unlike covers and things like that. But as I said, he's been around for a while, mainly on the independent scene. I don't think he's really done much with the big two. I know he's been Eisner Award nominated before. He's probably best known for his work on the God of War books, obviously based on the video game franchise God of War. So he's probably best known for that. He has done some co-creating projects. I think one of them was called Mayday, that was done through Image Comics, and another one through Dark Horse Comics, which was called, I think it's This Damned Band, I think it's called. Pretty sure that's right. But yeah, so obviously he's done some creator-owned stuff. He's worked independently, as I said, God of War and a few other titles. But yeah, he's absolutely phenomenal artist. And as I said, super nice guy. Spoken to him a bit online. Never met him in person, obviously, but spoken to him a little bit online. And yeah, super nice guy and absolute talented artist. Now, I only have one piece that I picked up. When I bought his piece, I did sort of go above and beyond. I did actually pick a 2-character piece and full background, which I generally don't do because can't always afford that. And I know his prices have risen quite a bit since I last did it, which is just an industry thing at the moment, especially the last couple of years with the COVID boom. A lot more artists were doing a lot more commission work and things like that, and a lot of their prices, like the books and like, a lot of other sort of luxuries and staple items in life, since COVID have just gone through the roof. It's just the way things are at the moment. So, but yeah, I do only have one piece. I think it was for 2016 is when I actually received it. I'm pretty sure it didn't actually take too long. I think it was only a good couple of months, maybe 6 months at the most, I think it was. So one of my better turnaround time, not one of my, years upon years of, one of those sort of stories, which eventually you will see pieces that I will show you that said, look, this took years or whichever. Like, I don't want to focus on the bad, but it does happen, unfortunately. Artists get busy or they forget, or anyway, we won't get into the negative, all about the positive. So let's show you the piece. Obviously 2016 in my Spidey only phase, so I knew I was going to get Spidey, but I wasn't sure. I was thinking I need to choose a different villain. Like, the amount of times that I get like either collaborative pieces or like team up pieces, in other words, or versus pieces, most artists will pick all the villains from Sinister Six, or they'll do Spidey and Black Cat or something like that. They won't always pick something a little bit more obscure. So I can't remember whether he came up with the idea or whether I came up with the idea, but I actually went Spidey versus Jackal. So not as mainstream as your Sinister Six characters or some of the other baddies that that Spidey has, but yeah, like when you see it, it just he absolutely knocked it out of the park. So without further ado, here's the piece. So as you can see, he absolutely knocked it out of the park. Just the amount of detail in the hair and the face and just the background, and like even the muscle textures and stuff like that. It's just absolutely stunning piece. So much detail. Well, this guy really needs to be on some bigger titles. So there we are. So Spidey versus Jackal. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous piece. Like, I know I say it a lot. I say, oh, this is one of my favorite pieces in my collection, but this thing is just fantastic, you know, and especially seeing I was a little bit sort of nervous going into it, seeing I didn't know too much about the artist. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll you know, most artists I'll give a go. You know, whether I know them or not, I'll try and, you know, support as many artists as I can. And yeah, definitely not disappointed. So once again, Spidey versus Jackal by Tony Parker. And as I said, not the San Antonio Spurs retired basketballer, but the comic artist. So yeah, awesome experience. Love the piece. Everything went, you know, perfectly well with this thing. Not one of those, as I said, long waits or less communication or anything like that. Just awesome through the whole thing. So that's it for this particular episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment if you wish, and obviously if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Yeah, so that's it for this video. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and Spidey out.